is as big as a yellow balloon. Even the sparrows are singing in tune on a wonderful morning like this. On an evening like this, I could kiss everybody. I'm so full of love and goodwill. Let me say furthermore, I adore everybody. Come and dine, the pleasure's mine, and I will pay the bill. May I take this occasion to say that the whole human race should go down on its knees. Show that we're grateful for moments like these, for the world's in a hell of a way on a wonderful day like today. It's not so fucking good today, is it really? On an evening like this, I could kiss everybody. Well, not everybody. I'm so full of love and goodwill. Let me say furthermore, I adore everybody. So come and dine, the pleasure's mine, and I will pay the bill. May I take this occasion to say that the whole human race should go down on its knees. Show that we're grateful for moments like these, for the world's in a hell of a way on a wonderful day, on a marvelous day, on a wonderful day like today. Oh! Well, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever the fucking hell it is. We're not bothered. But lovely to be here again at the Queen's Arms. I don't often appear here. Yes, I'm never fucking away from here. Perhaps, have we got any trolley dollies in today? My lovely friend Billy. Yes, man. And you're a trolley dolly as well, are you? Well, I've got to tell you my new bit of news, dear. Now, you know, No, it's all right. You can go to work tomorrow, dear. They haven't gone past. It's, No, my bit of good news actually is because I don't like flying, you see. And I've got a bit of good news for everybody that's a bit frightened of flying. Now, when I get on a plane now, I sing the Iraqi national anthem. And if anybody joins in, I fuck off that plane very quick. Just so I'd let you know. And of course now my lovely friend Betty Swallops is upstairs getting ready, and while she's getting ready, you see, I thought I'd just be extra kind to her tonight. Because, no, she's had a couple of accidents just recently, you know. You see, no, the trouble was she was ironing last week, you know, I think it was on the Wednesday, and the phone rang. Oh, she did burn her fucking ear. The other one's in a mess as well, they phoned back. And not satisfied with that, now I admit, now I might have to agree with her, that on these things that you buy, cans of stuff, they don't give very good directions. Because now, I said, oh, the state of your feet and legs, they were red raw. Oh, I've never seen nothing. I said, how did you get them in that state, Betty? She said, well, I bought this tin pudding. And it said Pierce can and standing in boiling water. Fucking red. No, it can happen, you know. No, you've got to read these directions. One of my next door neighbours, you know, he's 73. And he bought one of those ball deodorants. And it said unscrew cap and push up bottom. Yes. He died, of course. But he smelled beautiful. And no, it's surprising the things that can happen to you. I mean, I went to the hospital last week and I said to the doctor, you know, I've got trouble with my back passage. He said, have you had it decorated? So I said, not for some time, you see. And he said, drop your drawers, lean over the table, I'll have a look at it. Got down on his knees, he said, oh, fucking hell. I said, what's wrong? He said, you've got a lettuce leaf growing out your bum. I said, is it serious? He said, oh, it's the tip of the iceberg. It's funny these little problems you have, isn't it, really? You know, I'll tell you another problem I had recently. I only popped down to my local GP because he's ever so nice, you know. And he said, "You having a bit of trouble, Phyllis?" I said, "Yes, every time I sneeze, I have an orgasm." He said, "What you taking for it?" I said, "Snuff." And what else has happened to me this week? Piles? What, money? Yes, well, I haven't had those, darling. No, I haven't had those, no. Oh, no, no. I know one of them. Well, to be funny you should mention that, because I expect you're expecting me to do a gag on piles now, aren't you? Well, I used to know a queen that was on the game in Piccadilly, and she had piles. Yeah, she charged extra for a bumpy ride. Anybody else got one, dear? Let's do a song quick for the answer. It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy things, one of those bells that now and then ring, just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, a trip to the moon on gossamer wing, just one of those things. If we thought a bit at the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. Yes, it was just one of those things. Just one of those crazy things. One of those bells that now and then ring. Just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, a trip to the moon on gossamer wing, just one of those things. If we thought a bit at the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. We meet now and then, 'cause it was great fun, but it was just one of those things. You know, I went round to my neighbours the other evening, you know, and they were all sat down at supper, and her kid, he's got to be about 7 years old. And he said to me, he said, "Here, Auntie," because we've never told him, you see. He said, "You're chum." He said, "Where do babies come from?" So I thought, give him the stock answer. I said, "The stork brings them." He said, "Oh, who fucks the stork then?" And the little girl, she's a little bit older, you know, and she said to me, she said, "That isn't really where babies come from, is it?" I said, "No, darling." I said, "As you're a girl, you're a little bit older, I'll tell you the truth." I said, "What happens is," I said, "Daddy plants a seed in Mummy's tummy." "Oh," she said, "do you have to swallow it?" I said, "Only if you want a new dress." It's, No, kids are a problem, aren't they? But you know something? I hated school myself. I never got on well at school. Do you know, I was always upset and unhappy at school. I can always remember years ago I was in the playground crying my eyes out. And the teacher came up to me and said, "What are you crying for, cock?" I said, "Yes." And, no, you know, funny enough, you know, we used to have all these lessons and that, and I was never any good at lessons. Absolutely useless. In fact, I was always messing about, and I remember the teacher said to me, Phyllis, come out the front and bring out what you're playing with. She got a shock when I took out the boy next to me. She got an even bigger shock when she found out he was 3 seats away. So did I. But, no, I always say live and let live. We only live once. You've got to enjoy yourself, haven't you? Absolutely, yes. Well, of course, last Thursday, I thought to myself, spoil yourself, Phyllis, go out for the night. And I went in this pub, and I've got to tell you, I don't drink normally an awful lot. I had 17 gin and bitter lemons, 3 green chartreuse, which I'd never tried before, and I finished up with 17 Baileys and a fish cake. Oh, I was fucking bad. Oh, I'll never eat those fucking fish cakes again. And while I was in there, this dear old queen came in. I don't know how old she was, but, you know, she was getting on. Older than Maisie. She was very old, this one. Oh, she was. Ever so old she was, this one. And she went up to the bar, and she said, barman, that notice you got behind the bar, Ploughman's lunch, £4.25. He said, that's right. She said, what does it consist of? He said, well, for £4.25, he said, you get a pork pie, a bit of French bread and butter, a dollop of pickle, and a nice piece of strong cheddar cheese. And after you've finished it, we've got the glass collector is an ex-Chippendale, 28 years old. He's going to take you upstairs, strip all your clothes off, throw you on the bed and give you the largest portion of helmet you've ever had in your life. She said, oh. What make is the pork pie? All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I wanna lose them. Take my lips, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the parts that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? It's all of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I wanna lose them. Take my lips, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the parts that once was my heart, so why not take all of me, all of me? So why not take all of me? Yes, sir. The last Monday, like the holiday Monday, we should have, because obviously, I don't know how many of you saw advertised, it should have been arsenic and old lace, but of course that's Maisie and myself. And a lot of you regulars will know that Maisie went into hospital for her operation. She's getting on fine, she really is. Be out of action for a little while, but she's getting on fine. Both knees she's had replaced. And she's sitting in the garden at home at this very, very moment. And I thought it'd be rather nice if we give her a ring.
Hello, Mrs. Hazel's phone.
Hello, is that David? Is that David?
Hello, Mrs. Hazel's phone.
Oh?
Ringy Hazel's phone.
Ringneys, oh, Ringneys, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, who's that speaking?
David Raven.
David Raven, and you're out in the garden amongst all those flowers?
No, I'm just relaxing. I'd been out in this... Is that you, Phil?
It is, darling, yeah.
I thought you were working.
What, you thought I was working?
Yeah.
No, I was hoping you were.
Oh.
Yes.
I know not. You gave me that job to do that trapeze act, but with my legs I couldn't hang on to the wire.
I know. You could have used your teeth, dear.
No, if I'd used my teeth, that was what I was going to hold you on with.
Now, I've got a bone to pick with you, actually.
What's that?
Well, I had £1 each way on you yesterday in the derby, and I want to know where you came.
Well, I came third.
You came third, did you? Third to what? Fucking last?
No. It was called the Lion Roars, and it came third at 14-1.
Oh, I see. I see. Did you back that one?
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. I had a tip from you because you had a bit in your mouth, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, but we're talking about racing, dear.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
You're on stage, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
That.
Yes.
Mind you, that makes a change for you to be on stage instead of pulling one.
Yes. Well, we're very pleased to know that you're getting on fine.
Well, thank you. I want to, if any of all the people there, I can't think how many cards I had, but I thank so many people. That was really marvellous to be appreciated.
I know, but the trouble was they thought you were dead. You know. They were sympathy cards. Yes.
You wait till I get back on you. I'll have you. That'll be about a month, 6 weeks' time, but I shall be there. Don't you worry.
We can't wait for you to come back.
All right, darling.
Yes. Can we? A lovely round of applause.
Oh, listen to that. All right, my lovelies. Well, thank you ever so much. Is this Beryl's phone you're using?
Do what, dear?
Is that Beryl's phone you're using?
Beryl's phone?
Yeah.
No, I'm on the microphone.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the phone? Oh, my phone.
Yes, actually, the actual phone call has been sort of covered in cost by the Queen's Arms.
Oh.
Yes. And you can imagine Andy's not here. Yes. He never would have fucking paid for the call. So.
Oh, bless you.
See you soon,
all
darling.
right,
Take care.
God bless everyone. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, we thought we'd let you have a word with Maisie because it'll cheer her up no end. She's sitting in the garden amongst those winter pansies, isn't she? They're still blooming, aren't they? Yes, 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 you left her there. With a cup of coffee, yes, oh, lovely, poor old soul. Yes, and she had both knees, do you know she had both knees replaced? Yes, mind you, I was very unhappy with her because she never bought the dogs a bone of bone. She could have thought of them, couldn't she? The boys I've loved before, who travel in and out my door, I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the boys I've loved before, to all the boys I once caressed, and may I say I've held the best for helping me to grow. I owe a lot, I know, to all the boys I've loved before. The winds of change are always blowing, and every time I try to stay, the winds of change continue blowing, and they just carried me away. To all the boys who shared my life, I never ever was their wife. I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the boys I've loved before. shared my nights of ecstasy. They'll live within my heart. I'll always be a part of all the boys I've loved before. The winds of change are always blowing, and every time I try to stay, the winds of change continue blowing, and they just carry me away. To all the boys we've loved before, who traveled in and out our door, we are glad they came along. We dedicate this song to all the boys we've loved before. To all the boys we've loved before, who traveled in and out our door, we are glad they came along. We dedicate this song to all the boys we've loved before. Thank you very much. Thank you, music lovers everywhere. Do you know, funny enough, I was talking about the dog, and I have got a little dog, you know. And I always remember years ago, this is a very sad story. It's a very sad story. I had this little dog, and he was deaf, and he was blind. He only had 3 legs. And he answered to the name of Lucky. And somebody said to me once, they said, do you know they've brought out hearing aids for doggies now? I said, do you mean to say if I buy one of those contraptions for my little dog, he'll be able to hear again? He'll be able to hear me calling for his din-dins. So they said yes. So I went up to Harrods in Knightsbridge. And I said, I've heard that you've got hearing aids for doggies, exclusive to your firm. And they said, yes. I said, how much are they? And she said, they're £450. I said, 450? She said, well, it's the only place you'll get them. And I thought, is it worth it so my little doggy can hear again? And I thought, yes, it is. And I got this little thing home, and you have to strap it on round his tummy. Oh, it was such a big contraption. And you know, that little doggy ran out the back door, ran down my garden, and for years and years, he could hear the bees buzzing and the birds singing, and his little ears shot up, you know, and he ran down to this oak tree at the bottom of the garden, cocked his leg, pissed on the batteries of the hearing aid, and blew his fucking head off. Memories of Doris. What we got next, honey? You made me love you. I didn't wanna do it. I didn't wanna do it. You made me love you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy sometimes. You made me sad. But there were times, dear, you made me feel so bad. You made me sigh for. I didn't wanna tell you. I didn't wanna tell you. I want some love, that's true. Yes, I do, indeed I do. You know I do. Give me what I sigh for. You know you've got the brand of loving that I die for. You know you made me love you. Come on, you all know the words. Yes, you didn't want to do it. You woke me up to do it. You made me love you, and all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy sometimes. You made me sad. But there were times, dear, you made me feel so bad. You made me sigh for, I didn't want to tell you, I didn't want to tell you. I want some love, that's true, yes I do, indeed I do, you know I do. Give me what I sigh for. You know you've got the brand of loving that I die for. You and me, that's it, love you, yes you do. You know you made me love you. If any of you have been watching the television, of course, you've been listening to, of course, D-Day, of course, 60 years on. Doesn't seem 5 minutes. And yes, I was making soup for sailors during those days. And of course, I always remember, you know, of course, I mean, none of you here are old enough to remember. But of course, towards the end, you're not, you're a mere slip of a girl, dear. Don't give your age away. You look it. And it's 42, aren't you? 42, 47, that's right, yes. It's about right then. You will remember this then. It was towards the back end of the war, and they issued us with shelters, you see, against the bombing, you know. And you had two different types. You had a Morrison shelter, which was like a table indoors, and you had an Anderson shelter, which you had outdoors in the garden, if you had one. And you had to dig a big hole in the garden, assemble all these sheets of cast iron or metal, whatever they were. So anyway, they delivered it, corrugated iron. So you do remember. And anyway, they shoved all these on my front lawn, you see. Great loads of this corrugated iron, bag full of screws and nuts and everything, and they said you have to assemble it, put it in the garden. I said, what do I fucking know about that? What do I know about corrugated iron? Lipstick, eyeshadow, yes. Not fucking corrugated iron. So anyway, the lady that lived next door to me, you see, called Fred, she was lovely. No, she was lovely. And I said to her, is there any chance you could help me put this shelter up? And she said, of course I can. No, actually, she said, of course I can. And she came in, you see, and we dug this big hole between us, assembled this shelter, shoved it in, put earth over the top, and being a queen, I had to have a few flowers on the top of that, you see. A few marigolds and lupins, you know. I thought if they're bombing me, they'll see that I've got a lovely display. And we just finished. And I said to Fred, I said, are you going to have a bath? So she said, yes, I'll pop up and have a bath, you see. I'll pop up and have a bath. So she went up, you see. And while she was upstairs, you know, I heard the sirens going. So I thought, oh, they're coming over, you see. Good job we got that shelter. So I called up the stairs. I said, Fred, I said, they're coming over. Get down in that shelter straight away. So I ran out in the garden, you see, and I jumped in, because you jump through this hole, you see. It's just like that and like that. And in the earth. And I thought, I'll make way for it. And I thought, she's not here. Where the fuck is she? So I put my head out this hole, you see, and she's running up the garden, looking and waving. And I said, what are you doing? She said, I've forgotten my teeth, dear. I said, they're dropping bombs, not fucking meat pies, dear. So all of a sudden, this fucking bomb dropped. Well, I've never heard it. Oh, fucking hell, did it go? She shot through this hole. Well, when she landed, it crumpled at my feet, and I thought, oh, my God. Oh, and I thought she's been hit. Oh, I've never seen a gash like it in my life. Took me 10 minutes to realise she'd landed on her head. And of course, and during the war we had old Grandad staying with us. Now I've got to tell you, when we lived outside London, and we used to have those toilets at the end of the garden. You didn't have indoor toilets in those days. No, right down the bottom of the garden you had this old wooden hut. I mean, it's very difficult in the winter, you know. If you got up in the middle of that, you never made it that far, you know. But so we used to have what they call chamber pots. You remember? They went under the gazunders, they used to call them, because they went under the bed, you see. You never knew they were full until your thumb got warm, you see. And Grandad, every Sunday morning, regular as clockwork, he used to go down to the old wooden hut at the bottom of the garden, news of the world, mug of coffee, bacon sandwich, and he used to sit in there on the loo for at least an hour. Well, he was out there one Sunday morning, and this fucking great bomb, it was a landmine, they called it, dropped. Well, it shook every house in the area. And when I ran out, I thought, oh, poor Grandad. When I looked up the garden, the old wooden hut was in smithereens. I thought, where the fuck is he? When I looked, he's up the apple tree, stuck right up the top. I said, Grandad, I said, what on earth are you doing in there? He said, I know. He said, if I'd have let that one off indoors, your mother would have gone fucking mad. Kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me. Thrill me, honey, honey, thrill me. I don't care even if I blow my top. But honey, honey, don't stop. I'd like to play a little game with you. A little game especially made for two. So cuddle close and I will show you how. Closer, closer now. Kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me. Thrill me, honey, honey, thrill me. I don't care even if I blow my top. But honey, honey, don't stop. We've never played this little game before, so just relax and you'll enjoy it more. Oh, come close and I will show you how. Closer, closer now. Kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me. Thrill me, honey, honey, thrill me. I don't care even if I blow my top. But honey, honey, don't stop. You kiss so well my lips begin to burn, and I can tell I've got a lot to learn. So cuddle close and darling, show me how. Closer, closer now. Kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me. Thrill me, honey, honey, thrill me. I don't care even if I blow my top. But honey, honey, don't stop. But honey, honey, don't stop. But honey, honey, don't stop. Cha-cha-cha. And as it's D-Day, well, it was yesterday, wasn't it? It's the 5th, actually, is it? Is D-Day? It's not today, is it? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yes, yesterday. And all those boats that went over there, you know, oh, it's terrible. Yes, oh, everybody was rowing them boats over. Betty Swallows was in the lead, you know. And there was a lady who was very famous at the time. Vera Lynn, yes, you... Oh, who said Vera Lynn? Who remembers Vera Lynn? Do you remember Vera Lynn? Do you really? Yes. Do we know any of those, you know? There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. There'll be fun and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow when the world is free. The shepherd will tend his flock, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow when the world is free. Play a bit, dear. John Bruzon. The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow when the world is free. Maisie taught me the words. I never knew them originally. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that when we have finished, John and I, of course, the lovely Betty will be here with karaoke tonight, and she'll be playing all your favourite ones, and I know we've got loads of singers in tonight. And also, I think we've got something special. This is something special happening tonight, Beryl. Have you got a microphone, dear? What, darling? Pride? Mr. Gay Pride. Is it Mr. Pride, is it? Are you having a competition, aren't you? Mother's Pride. No, it's not Mother's Pride. It's a fucking loaf of bread. Something to do with, yes? Are you looking for contestants for it tonight? You are. So there's a competition going on for Mr. Brighton and Hove Pride, is it? Yes? One with the biggest knob, is it? Sorry, have I got it wrong? No, she didn't say that. She said the one with the biggest personality, it is, yes. And yes. I've got my earrings cold. I'll have to go around like that all night. This is especially for a lovely young couple that's in tonight, and they have had a long-standing affair. They met last week in Dorset Gardens when nobody was looking. You'll never know just how much I love you. You'll never know just how much I care. And if I tried, I still couldn't hide my love for you. You ought to know, for haven't I told you so a million or more times? You went away and my heart went with you. I'll speak your name in my every prayer, and if there's some other way to prove that I love you, I'll swear I don't know how. You'll never know if you don't know now. You'll never know just how much I love you. You'll never know just how much I care. And if I tried, I still couldn't hide my love for you. You ought to know, for I told you so a million or more times. You went away and my heart went with you. I'll speak your name in my every breath, and if there's some other way to prove that I love you, I'll swear I don't know how. You'll never know if you don't know now. Thank you very much, thank you. You've been a great audience again today, you know. And as usual, the lovely Brighton crowd are always so receptive, you know. And lovely to see you all. Anyway, we're gonna finish this spot before it festers. On on another old number. Oh, it is an old number, this one. I remember it when it first came out. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that my heart and mind embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's bright and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Yes, I'll be seeing you. Don't forget, if you've got a car, you know, do be careful. Because they say there's a fella getting knocked over every 5 minutes in Brighton and Hove, and he's fucking fed up with it. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's bright and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that applause going, please, for your cabaret this afternoon. The fabulous Mr Phil Starr and Mr John Bruzon on the keyboards.
Mr John Bruzon.
Mr Phil Starr. Do you want one more?
Come on. Yes. Yes, you're right. I used to be. It's... What? Well, we're going to finish on Honey Child, Honey Lamb, Honey Pie. Oh. Oh, dear. I'll never get rid of that number, you know. Sandbags, windbags, camels with the hump. Thin girls, fat girls, some a little plump. Old Queen sold here 50p a lump in the old bazaar in Cairo. Brandy, shandy, beer without a froth. Braces, laces, a candle for the moth. Bet you look a smasher in an old loincloth in the old bazaar in Cairo. You can buy most anything. Thin bowls, fat cows, a little bit of string. You can purchase anything you wish. A clock, a dish, and something for your Auntie Nellie. Harem, scarem, what you think of that? Bare knee striptease, dancing on the mat. Oompa, that's enough of that. In the old bazaar in Cairo, all together. Wonderful. Rice pud, very good, what's it all about? They put it in a kettle and they couldn't get it out. Everybody took a turn to suck it through the spout in the old bazaar in Cairo. Mamadam, ramadam, everything in style. Genuine Bedouin carpets with a pile. Funny little odds and ends floating down the Nile from the old bazaar in Cairo. You can buy most anything. Thin bowls, fat cows, a little bit of string. You can purchase anything you wish. A clock, a dish, and something for your Auntie Nellie. Yashmaks, pontifex, a little bit of fish. Stoppers, poppers, anything you wish. You can get a blowjob or have it at the dish in the old bazaar in Cairo.
There you go, ladies, and one more time, the fabulous Mr Phil Starr and Mr John Bruzon, king of the keyboards, the fabulous Mr Phil Starr. And we'll be starting the karaoke in 10 minutes with Betty Swallocks.